Okay, so
leading into
so that's our segue into our standard review. This week we both went and saw the new movie Star Trek
Beyond. Come on, dude.
I was like, it doesn't matter. It's a new Star Trek movie. It's the third one in the new series.
The Kelvin timeline.
Is that what it's called? Kelvin? Why is it called Kelvin?
Because that was the USS Kelvin that got destroyed.
Okay. So we went and saw it today, and so a little bit of background with this. This is obviously takes part with the reboot that was a few years ago.
The Kelvin timeline?
No, I know, but I'm saying it's got Chris Pine. What's his name?
Zachary Quinto.
Siler.
Eat your brains.
It's weird because he has like really big eyebrows, like on that show Heroes, or like in real life, I think.
Yeah.
And then like he has like this tiny.
We got this Vulcan.
It's just weird.
Shape him down.
Yeah, I know. You have Carl Urban as Bones, Dr. McCoy, and it's just they've done an excellent job with the reboot. That's needless to say. With the first two movies, I think the first one is better than the second one.
Yes.
This one has gotten pretty good praise so far through Rotten Tomatoes and some of the press release stuff.
Yes, it has.
So we went and saw it before we. With this one, it's kind of a new bad guy, who's played by Idris Elba.
Yep.
We'll get into our review, but let's do the standard review.
Okay.
Thumbs up. Remember, thumbs up is a great movie. Thumbs to the side is a good movie. Thumbs down is a
question
bad
about this.
Yes.
David.
Okay.
I want to change our ratings.
Okay. What's our rating?
Thumbs down, bad. Thumbs to the side, thumbs up, good, or great.
No, see, that's why
I don't like good and great.
Okay, well you can explain. If yours is to the side, it could be or good.
Yeah, we're doing meh to the side, bad down, great up.
How about 2 thumbs for great?
No.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2 thumbs up.
Come on now.
This I really enjoyed this movie.
Me too. Better than the second one.
I think this might be my favorite of the 3.
No, mine's really close. I gotta watch the first one again. It's just origins are so tough to beat. Origin stories are excellent.
That's true. I do like
but
that.
This one's really good.
The bad guy in this one was a lot more, and we're not going to spoil anything. Well, we'll talk maybe some little bit of spoilers towards the end, and we'll give you a visual and an audio cue to let you know. But the bad guy is really interesting in this. I like his motivation. I like that the characters now all are. You can tell that they are comfortable acting, like the actors themselves. Some of the dialogue between the characters in this, like. I know when I enjoy something that I think is genuinely very funny, because I will laugh and then I'll pause and then I'll laugh again because I'll think about it and I'm like, wow, that's like really, really well.
You know what the comedy reminds me of in this movie? Reminds me of the MCU movies.
Right.
Like the personality between the character and the actors even. You know, you see the personality, the character, all that kind of stuff. And it's just those quick quips that are just so funny.
Yeah, and they tackle
all those moments.
And obviously, the movie has a lot of action because it's a movie made in 2016, so it's gonna be it's a blockbuster.
Not only that, it's directed by Justin Lin.
Justin Lin, yeah,
who directed the last few Fast and Furious, which they're obviously amazing.
Captain Kirk lives his life by quarter mile at a time.
Exactly.
No, there's great action in it, but they tackle some pretty interesting like philosophical issues that are like hallmarks of the Star Trek universe. It's one of the problems that you can always run into when you're making, Rocky 3 or whatever third in the franchise is like, what do we do now? Like they actually they kind of take the audience serious. Like, hey, you watch the first 2.
Yeah.
Cause they actually make some pretty interesting jokes to the first 2. That I don't know would hit the same resonance if you didn't watch the first 2, but the relationships between the characters you should know.
Yeah. By now, yeah.
Right. Well, I'm saying that's what the film feels like. Like you should know this. That's why it's funny. You know what I mean?
Maybe you got to point out those when we do spoilers.
Yeah. Well, it's just more of like these characters get along, and these characters have a weird relationship, and these characters don't get along. And
they don't really explain. They don't. Yeah, they don't. They assume
right. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's not spoiling anything. But it's actually refreshing. It's like a Game of Thrones thing. Like, hey, we're taking you serious. Like, pay attention.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're not paying attention, you won't know. And meaning when I say
it's the third, like you said, it's third movie in the franchise. You should have seen them by now. If you're not, why are you here? Yeah.
There are some set pieces in this movie. They go to a space station in this movie, like a big space station, like of the Federation. I will say, I was like, I want to see a movie set in this space station. Like,
right.
Talk about one of the most beautiful movies,
Yorktown,
I've ever seen in a science fiction movie. I was like, this place is gorgeous. Like,
and it's cool how they explain like the gravity and how all that stuff works.
It's just
it's cool.
I couldn't, and like the costume design, the makeup, like it's all just seamless. It makes me want to play, like I want to be there. Like I want to meet all these aliens and read the codex about this alien and what are their background and where do they come from. No, seriously, like it's because it's so eye-catching and so stunning. And there was a moment in the movie where I'm not going to spoil anything, but I actually like for a second I was like, I'm watching a movie. Like I know a movie is good when I'm like I wasn't thinking about like what I have to do after the movie. Like,
it's the immersion, man.
No, the immersion
in the movie.
No, it was really, really good. They have new characters that they introduced. They have a new bad guy that they introduced. All well acted.
Yep.
All over. The action scenes are all well choreographed. Which you got Justin Lin at this point is he knows what he's doing. Right?
Drove a car in between two buildings in Dubai. All right, he knows what he's doing, David.
Yeah, it's cool, and there's some throwbacks to the kind of the original series stuff. There's some throwbacks.
The very beginning of the movie felt like an end of an episode.
Right.
Star Trek. And, there's actually a joke at the beginning of the movie. This doesn't spoil the story or anything. But he's like, Stardate, blah, 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 doing his log. He's like, and it's beginning to feel a little episodic. I'm like,
right.
TV.
Right. They like I said, they're well aware of what they, their heritage, and that's good. Obviously, I want to mention this because it's a bittersweet, seeing the character Chekhov. Because obviously
Anton, that's sad.
It's just super sad, and he's so good in it. Like,
and they said that they're not going to replace his character. They'll figure. They don't know how they're going to do it, but they're not going to recast his character, which is the best way to do it.
Yeah, just introduce a new person, but he's so good in it. Like, and he gets it. Like, actually,
he's like the ladies' man too.
Yeah, and what's cool about this film is it feels like a Fellowship of the Ring. There's a part in the movie where characters kind of get split up. And it's like Game of Thrones, right? Like, oh, I want that character to be with that character because they have good banter. Like, that happens in this, and it's done very well.
And the previous two movies were mainly Kirk and Spock.
Right.
So this movie's like, you had Peg. I mean, you had Scotty. You had Anton. You Chekhov, whatever. You had Sulu. But they weren't as integral. In this movie, they definitely are. Like you said, there's
everybody
people,
gets
their own pairing and stuff, their own adventures that they get into.
Right.
So it's refreshing to see.
That's why this movie, and like you're talking about the MCU, is that they're kind of every character's been established. So now we can have fun with, hey, let's mix this character with that character.
Thor Ragnarok's gonna be Thor and Hulk. That sounds amazing.
No, I know. That's my point. Is like you have so many great characters, and you can feed off of. Okay, so how does this character interact with this character? And there are some genuinely funny parts. Like I'm not joking when I know it's funny when I get laugh with the audience, and then I think and I'm like, that's a really funny joke. Like really well executed and well written, and like only those characters could give that, and it's really, really good. So go see it. It's fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough.
Sitting right now at 85% Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh. So it's definitely.
I was at like 90 earlier this week, so some people are poo-pooing on it. Whatever.
But 85. That's an excellent movie.
For on Rotten Tomatoes, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for and I always think about this with the Star Wars and the Star Trek and the huge franchises that have been around for 30 plus years. They almost don't have to be a good movie. They're gonna make
people it's like Transformers. Everyone knows movies are bad, but they make
a ton of money,
right?
And that's my point. Is like it's refreshing when they actually do a good job.
Of course. Yeah.
So, anything else you want to talk about with Star Trek?
Spoiler stuff?
No. Well, okay, yeah. Let's get into a little bit. I don't really have much spoiler stuff to talk about. Do you want to spoil it?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a few spoilers here. Skip ahead.